on to our Where Are They Now feature. Until recently, my next guest was TV's King of Chat. Wittier than Wogan, smarter than Jonathan Ross, more up-to-date than Michael Parkinson. But where is he now? Well, most of the time he's in Norwich, but he's here tonight, so please welcome Alan Partridge. That's right. You working at the chat shows, weren't you? You were right up there. What's happened? What happened to your show?
I thought I was working at it when chat shows, I think, were at the peak, but I think I got out while the going was good.
Fair point. Yeah,
absolutely.
Because some people do say the chat show is dead. Maybe it's just this one. I don't know. But,
yes. Yeah. Well, no, I mean you're making a joke there, you know, but. There is a serious point,
yes.
You know, which is that people fade.
Yes,
you know.
yeah.
I mean, Michael Parkinson, where's he now?
Well, he's coming back on, I think. He's not tonight, but he's back next year. But your style...
It'll bomb.
Yeah. What's your secret of how to do a good interview?
I don't know, it's not an exact science, not like physics or biology. But if, for example, I was interviewing someone like Idi Amin,
right.
A lot of people think Idi Amin, butcher, you know, murdered a lot of people in Uganda, but when you meet him, there's a whole other side to his character. He's tremendously good at Connect 4.
Right. Yeah. And you'd bring that out of him?
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, for example, we all know the stories about him putting his wife's head in a fridge.
Yeah.
Now, I'd obviously want to broach that, but I wouldn't say, Idi, what's all this about putting your wife's head in a fridge?
Yeah.
That would be too obtuse. I'd simply say something like... Idi, have you got any anecdotes about your time when you were boss of Uganda?
Yeah.
I'm thinking here about fridges, you know.
Yes.
I'm not on a wing.
Now, why did the BBC axe your show? Do you know why?
Well, I had a number of problems. I shot a man dead.
Yes. I remember that.
No, it was cleared at a subsequent inquiry. I mean,
all right, OK.
I was found guilty of a minor offence of unlicensed use of a firearm, but, you know, it's petty.
And they held that against you, so you're now on Radio Norwich. Now, is you happy being on Radio Norwich?
It's always good to finish the sentence.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just dead air.
Yes.
It's dead time.
Yeah. You just look as though you're going to answer, but...
No, I was waiting for you to finish. I'm not that rude.
All right.
Different technique.
Yes.
But no, I mean, Radio Norwich is, for me, it's a very exciting time to be there.
Yes. Why would that be?
Well, because Nick Peacock, who's in charge, do you know him?
No.
No? Well, no. Nick's was in charge of the big revamp there. He was behind the controversial decision to go thrice weekly with Sonia Mannion's Norfolk Nights.
Right.
Did that work? He got a lot of flack, but it paid off.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah. Excellent. So you went to him and he put you straight on to...
I went there and said, you know, Nick, what can I do? And he said, do what you like, because he's my cousin.
All right. and you chose the 4:30 a.m. to 7 o'clock slot, pre-breakfast hour.
The pre-breakfast slot. Some people call it the graveyard slot, and they're people who are bitter.
Yes.
Because my audience is divided to early morning farmers and late night returning ravers.
Right.
No, I mean, I'm pleased. I mean, at one point, it looked like... horror of horrors, I was going to be on Radio Ipswich, you know, with that bunch of losers. You know, but no, with Radio Norwich, I'm on an even keel.
Right. So what do you think now? You look as a bit of an outsider now. What do you think of the current state of British television?
There are some presenters who, you know, there's a fine line, for example, between, you know, having a bit of a jape, a bit of a joke, a bit of a humorous dig at someone, and just being plain rude.
Yes. And, where would that line be, do you think?
Behind you.
So what do you think of like sort of spoof chat show hosts or pretend ones like Larry Sanders? You know, it's a very, very funny show, the Larry Sanders. Have you seen that? Very good.
I don't quite get the joke. Hello? Can you explain it, please?
You didn't see anything of you in that? You didn't see the way a talk show in America's put together, the way your one might have been put together?
Well, we weren't scared of asking difficult questions. Some questions that were, if you like, irrelevant. But we would ask them, and we would ask uncomfortable questions, which would sometimes lead to people, you know, walking off. I don't know if you've experienced that.
Yes. I've had that just recently. But so far I haven't killed anyone, but I'm willing to make an exception tonight. Now, there is I say you're not on television at the moment, but there is a sort of, I don't know, sort of fly-on-the-wall documentary on you at the moment, on BBC Two,
yes,
Monday nights.
I'm very angry about that, because I was misled into thinking that they were going to study the life of a chat show. It's come out not the way I would have wanted.
Well, with your experience on television, you would have realised that things are bound to go wrong when you agree to a documentary like that. But it shows you, is it at your lowest ebb, you know, you're staying in a hotel, is that...
No, Linton Travel Tavern is a very... It's actually a very, very pleasant place to stay.
Yes.
It's not a lot of people know, but it has a fantastic carvery.
Now, the other thing that you're perhaps noted for is your fashion sense and your style. Is this something you deliberately work on, or you just naturally?
I tell you who inspired me to some extent was Ian Woosnam, the Welsh golf champ.
Yes.
Who I saw at Gatwick Airport wearing an ordinary sweater, just like all the other ones, but he turned round and, lovely touch this, he had 7 suede stars on the back.
Yeah.
Lovely little touch, just sort of elevated him above the airport rabble.
Yeah.
The duty-free cigarettes and their fat children.
Yeah. Now, the other thing that the documentary's rather intruded into is your personal life, your private life, which I don't normally go on about. But
I don't like to talk about it.
No, you don't, no. But is there any chance of you getting back together with your wife, do you think?
Did you hear the answer to the question?
Yeah. So you don't want to talk about that? No. OK, fair enough. So, what are your plans for you?
I mean, basically what happened was my wife she moved out. She kicked me out. She's living with a fitness instructor.
All right.
Idiot.
Yeah.
But, no, I mean, the real focus of my life are my children, Denise and Fernando.
Right.
Fernando's just left Cambridge.
Oh, excellent.
Cambridge University, that is, not the area.
No.
He's working for the UN doing sort of aid relief and wasting his life, you know.
Yeah. They're not going into broadcasting.
No. And then Denise, I was worried about her. She was working for the ICA doing experimental action art. Yeah. I said to her, you know, never mind ICA, why not join ICI? Yeah. I was making a joke.
Yes.
But there was a serious point behind it, and I'm pleased to say now that she's doing very well as one of the senior managers for Freeman Hardy Willis.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. And being a chat show host, is that gone now? Is that appeared behind you, or might you back into that? Parkinson's come back.
Well, if it appears behind me, I'm more likely to back into it. But I prefer it's in front of me, then I can see where I'm going.
Yeah.
I don't want to mount a campaign, you know, that would be responsible. But if, you know, people want to write to their MPs and... that's up to them.
Yes, well, I'm sure they're inspired to do that now. Thank you for joining us tonight. Alan Partridge.